You're probably here because you're a fan of the technical side of OCR and hybrid race coverage, and that's what we're all about. My name is Jason Dupree, and this is OCR Talk. Hello and welcome. This is Jason Dupree. I am traveling down to Tough Mudder, Austin, and have some time in the car, and figured what better time to record an episode for OCR Talk. Thank you for joining me. As I have said in the new intro, this is the place for technical talk about the technical side of race coverage. I do, for new people, new listeners, I do the live coverage for the OCR Report, and, we cover a Spartan race, Savage race, World's Toughest Mudder, OCRWC, throwing in some extra races here and there, and I love talking about the technical aspect of it. And it's awesome that some people are interested in hearing that stuff too. So I think that getting the understanding and just the information and the knowledge out to people gives people a better, we're not the NFL or NBA. We're not a giant company. We're not even a medium-sized company doing race coverage. We're basically still a startup providing something for a community that we love. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. And, I'm learning a lot of this stuff on my own as I go. So it's great to have a place to talk about it and kind of get those ideas and those thoughts and share that stuff so that people kind of understand where we're coming from, where we're at with things, and even be able to share. You got ideas about how we can make our live coverage better? Share that stuff with us. We'd love to hear it. No idea is I'm going to say no idea is a bad idea. There are obviously ideas that we've already thought about, things we've already tried, things that we can't do because of budget, things that just won't work for different reasons, but there's still nothing wrong with putting that idea out there. Even if we've tried it before, you don't know that. So how could you know? So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to share your ideas, ways we can make things better. I can't promise we can incorporate all of it, but we definitely think it through. There's no hard feelings, thinking that you're trying to say, I love constructive criticism. If you say things that don't make sense, like you cover such, like opinion-based stuff, then who cares? Well, that doesn't help me at all. But if you've got constructive feedback, then those are things that I can look at and say, okay, is this something I can achieve? Is this something I can incorporate? Does it make sense? And, the more we think about that stuff and the more we try and the more we test, and we'll get there. We'll keep getting better. Two things I want to talk about in this episode while I head down to Austin. I've got we're doing live cameras on a couple of obstacles at Tough Mudder this weekend. Tough Mudder has Netflix bringing in a Jumbotron, and they're going to be putting some trailers for a new Netflix show that's coming out. So they're advertising in the festival area on a Jumbotron. And so they wanted something to fill the gaps between those. So that way it's not just like the same trailers running over and over again. So we're going to have our live cameras on the course, and that'll fill the spaces on the Jumbotron. And it'll also be on YouTube as well for people to go check out and watch. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's kind of going to be kind of a fun, more laid back gig, a lot less writing on it than actually doing a live stream, a live show, an actual pro level race. Not as many people watching for results and that kind of stuff. So it'll just be People that want to see what the course looks like, maybe check out their friends, see if they can catch their friends on air, check out themselves afterwards, that kind of stuff. So not too big of a deal. I'll be setting up cameras and just letting them roll and just kind of hanging out, maybe do some social while I'm out there, maybe get on a couple obstacles. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see, but mostly expecting to just be hanging out on course and just having a good time, drinking a bunch of rain, probably. So two things that I want to talk about today is Jacksonville, how that race went, and kind of some caveats and things going forward and ideas that came from it, stuff like that. And also just the year, what this year looks like, what we've got improvements on coming, and what we're hoping to, come out of that. So let's start with Jacksonville. Jacksonville, the first race in the Spartan U.S. National Series. And firstly, I'd like to just say that we are planning on covering all three races in the Spartan U.S. National Series, the Canadian National Series, and the Mexican National Series, which is pretty awesome. I am pretty positive I will be able to travel to all of those races except for, I think, the second race in the Canadian National Series, because it's the same weekend as Utah, which is the second race in the U.S. National Series. They're on different days. One's on Saturday and one's on Sunday. But for me to fly from one to the other and not have, prep time for setup and all that is not really feasible. So I'll be doing that one remotely. I'm not sure, we still yet to be seen if we'll be doing a live show or not. I think that is Mount Tremblant, which I'm unfamiliar with the landscape of cell coverage. I know one of the races is Kelowna. Kelowna has some cell coverage, but not on the entire course. We'll probably go live there just because, I don't know. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Looking at Kelowna live coverage that we had previously, should we go live there again? I think the majority of the course, there are big chunks of the course that had good coverage, but there was like this back half of the course where they're running through kind of the mountainous areas and the forest and stuff, and it didn't have great coverage. So, I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Should we try to go live in Kelowna, or should we do a post live? I know the post live is good. Post live works really well. And with their race probably being on Saturday, maybe that makes sense. We could do a Sunday morning show or even a Saturday evening show. Yeah, so we'll see. For Jacksonville, we knew almost Jacksonville's never had good cell coverage. So we had a feeling that we weren't going to be able to go live there, and got out there and confirmed, yep, cell coverage was very bad. So we were going to do a post live. So we had the race scheduled for the show, scheduled for 2 p.m. The race was at 7 a.m. and it gave, the race, really, even the women don't take any longer than like 40 minutes to run a sprint, especially in Jacksonville. So we expected to be done filming no later than like 8:30. I expected to be able to get out of the venue by 9 a.m. So that left me 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 5 hours to get back to the hotel, get the footage uploaded online, and then do the show. We did this with Savage last year when we were doing same weekend as OCRWC. And we were able to get the footage up online in time. Now, I do want to say that we had 2 extra hours because we were in Well, I said we had 2 extra hours, but Savage starts their race at 9. So even though we were in Pacific time and they were in Central time, it really was still about the same 5 hours. So, but all the footage got online in time, and it was good. So here, we got done with the race. And I should talk about the race a little bit. Let me get to where we started having issues first, and then I'll talk about the race. So we were filming the race, and right off the bat, standing at the start line, and I'm noticing that my gimbal is not tilt locked, which means no matter which way I turn my gimbal, the camera moves with it. So if I point down, the camera points down. If I lean left or right, the camera leans left or right. That's not what a gimbal normally does. We've always got it set to be tilt locked so that no matter how you move the gimbal, the camera will stay straight. And I tested that. I calibrated all the gimbals the night before. Took them all out, turned them on, connected them to my phone, did the calibration, and all was good. Some reason, all 3 of our gimbals that we used had like reset to be this non-tilt locked mode, and I didn't catch it until I was on the start line, and they were like 30 seconds from telling the women to go. The men had already taken off, and I didn't even notice. Or maybe I did notice, but I was testing it. So like after the women were getting ready to go, I was like trying to figure out, can I fix this real quick? And I couldn't figure it out because I had like 30 seconds to figure it out. So we just went with it. So that's why the camera footage is definitely more shaky than probably normal. That was unfortunate, but we still did our best to keep cameras steady. And me, Shan, and new rabbit Greg did, the best we could. So we got the shots. I ran out with Shan, ran out with the men, and we had Greg on course waiting at the first, like the second or third obstacle. Shan came back, and I ran out with the women, and then he followed up with the back of the women. And then I ran ahead, cut the course after we got through some, first part of the course. And those women I couldn't keep up with them. The front runners, Andy Doobie, and some of the others that were up there, I could not keep up with them. So I cut the course and got ahead to where the men were at, the bucket carry. And then at that point in time, I think our plan had kind of already gone to crap because I expected Shan to be up there and he wasn't. So I went ahead and went with the men out to the next few obstacles, spear throw and all that. And I was having a hard time keeping up with them too, of course. So I followed the men through this little loop out in about spear throw. And then when I followed them out, I followed them out, and Shan had stayed with the women to catch them at that section. So we covered it fairly well, I think. And then I followed the men all the way to the finish. And then Shan and Greg followed back with the women. And I think we got it. I think we captured it, for 3 people. I think we captured both heats as best as possible. And they were like 2 minutes, they were only 2 minutes apart. So I felt pretty good about that. It was very muddy, extremely muddy. It was about 65 degrees, probably felt about it, and it wasn't sunny. So it was probably about perfect for running around, getting a little wet, to not feel like overwhelmingly hot. And I was wearing the yellow Titan 6 actual shirt, rabbit shirt that we have. And I was pretty comfortable. Yeah. It was just hard getting through the mud, and I was dying, and I've been out of shape and just For anybody that doesn't know, my wife divorced me last year, and that's been tough. So it's been a lot of focusing on live streaming, so not exercising enough because of that, and also because life is just hard when, you know, your wife leaves you. So eating has been a little tougher. Probably a little. I'm about 10 pounds heavier than what I like to be for race competitive weight, which is not bad. I mean, 10 pounds doesn't. It definitely doesn't make me competitive, but you know, I'm not like looking like a slob or anything. I just look like I've got a little pooch on me, but no big deal. So that in itself, it was harder. You know, I if I'm gonna rabbit, I need to be in better shape. That definitely helps with that kind of stuff. But typically, I'm not rabbiting. I know when it came to World's Toughest last year, I was probably about 5 pounds lighter than I am right now. So I was definitely doing better at that point in time. I was doing a lot to prep for World's Toughest. Even ran like the Spartan Ultra in Dallas before that. So I was doing pretty good. It's just the winter, you know, like I did 158 miles in December. Kind of gave myself a goal and went after it and didn't finish the goal, didn't hit it. It was a pretty lofty goal. I told myself, if I get 108 miles before December 31st and then run a 100-miler on December 31st, then that'll put me at 1,000 miles for the year. It's a very lofty goal. I did 50 miles. I did what I needed to up to the 100-miler, and I did 50 miles at the 100-miler. And that 100-miler was like a backyard ultra where you got to start every hour on the hour. You got to start a loop. So that made it tougher because you can't have a bad loop. And at the 50-mile mark, I was having a tough time. So that put me out from that. But it was still fun. It was good experience. Good, you know, gave me something to go after, focus on. But January and February, I have not been running enough, eating more than I should, you know, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's where I was at with my rabbing. It's definitely tough. So after the race is over, we got the footage from my phone onto the computer, got the footage from Shan's phone onto the computer. Greg's phone had 2 files. He said it stopped at one point. No big deal. I could splice those together. And we could see both files on his phone, but when we plugged it into my computer, and he uses an iPhone, we couldn't find both files. It showed up on his computer, on his phone, but it would not show up in the Windows folder when we were browsing to his phone. It was so weird. So we ended up airdropping it to Jared's phone. Jared Hathaway came to Jacksonville to do social for us. He does a great job with that stuff. And so Greg airdropped it to him. It took like probably 10, 15 minutes to do that. It's like a 4 gig file. And then once that was done, we figured if we can drive off out of the venue and get this uploaded, then I can pull it from there. So we went out to do so. And we found a spot where the cell signal was better and he was able to get it uploaded. Well, I say he was able to get it uploaded. It was uploaded to Dropbox and it got to where it was finished, but it just kept saying like initializing or finalizing, and it never would complete. So at that point, it's just like, forget it. We're going to go ahead and just do without it, do without that part of the video. So I went and dropped him back off at the venue because he was still working on stuff. And I headed back to the hotel, which was like 30 minutes away. So when I expected to get back to the hotel at like 9:30, 10 at the latest, I got back at 11. So we're looking at 12, 1, 2, 3 hours now till the show. I started uploading, getting the files uploading through Google Drive because the production machine is on a cloud computer. And the Wi-Fi in the hotel room was just not good. I think the upload speed was like a couple of megs. It wasn't worth a dollar. So I even tried my cell signal and like hotspot, and it wasn't good enough there either. So unfortunately, the hotel Wi-Fi was just not good enough to upload the data in that amount of time. Like a video would have taken 2.5 hours to upload, and we had 3 videos to upload. So we made a call to, what if we, got it all uploaded and did the show Monday afternoon, because I have to fly back. Francesca and Bracken were our commentators. Bracken said it worked for him. Francesca, it's a little tougher because she's in the UK, so that's like, the earliest I could do it would be like 11 o'clock her time. And so, we discussed, well, maybe we can get somebody else to commentate. And then Bracken had the idea, what if we just go old school guerrilla style, like 2019 Jacksonville, where they just posted just basically the raw footage of the rabbits. So all right, let's give that a shot. We can get it out quick. I can actually edit the video with the camera cuts in it, and then we'll just go with that. So that worked. I was actually able to edit the video, edit all the camera cuts, and render it out before I had to fly out. So this is like 5 o'clock, what are we, Eastern time, 5 o'clock Eastern time. And yeah, I got that edit done. And then I was like, okay, now I got to fly home. So I could have just put that out by itself, but I had all the graphics and knew, just the same way we would do a post-production show, if I could play the video and do the graphics live, then the only time I'm using is the amount of time it takes to watch the show. So I had to wait till I did that. I got home Monday and I had work on Monday. So I did that after work. Or I did it that morning. Now I'm actually forgetting when I did it. But I did it, and I made a couple of mistakes on my intro. So it took me a couple of tries to get it started. But once I got it started, it went decently well. I realized my obstacle graphic was messed up, but just rolled with it. And I made one mistake where I pulled up the empty commentator slide where it shows, where it normally shows the 2 commentators. And I ended up cutting it out of the final edit, I think. So I made one mistake there and one mistake at the very end, which I tried to cut out too, but I'm pretty sure that's visible if you know what you're looking for. But got it up, and it got a decently good reception from everybody. And then we started putting out polls like, what would you rather? Would you rather wait longer but have commentary with it, or would you rather it be up as fast as possible? So in that situation, and the majority of people, not an overwhelming majority, like 60-40, but the majority of people that answered or we asked said they rather wait for commentary. So that's cool. We'll try to do that more. And here's the thing. We got options here. We go live. That's option A. Always plan A. Go live. If we can't go live because cell coverage is not up to speed, then we will do a post-live show where we record the video locally. We've done this 3 times now, and it works well. We record locally on the phones, take the footage, put it into vMix, play it live, do do camera edits, camera cutting, camera switching, graphics, and commentating all live. We did it for Savage, Maryland, I think. We did it for Spartan, San Luis Potosi in Mexico. And now we've done it for, well, almost did it for Spartan, Jacksonville. So that's option B, plan B. And as this race made us realize we need a plan C is to basically do post live, but not same day. Because if we don't have the time to get the footage up online, and I'm going to say instead of going to 2 o'clock, I'm going to try and start going to 4 o'clock. Give myself a little bit more time to get footage uploaded. So we'll say 4 o'clock, whatever time zone, the race is in, is what we'll shoot for. Maybe, does 5 make more sense to 6 on a Saturday night? I think 4, to me, 4 is better because we can say it gives people a chance to watch it before dinner and before they go out to do whatever they're going to do on a Saturday night. So maybe let me know what you think. If 4 is better, 5 o'clock's better, 6, 7, whatever you prefer. So we'll try that. That's option B, and option C being post live with commentary. We just do it when it gives us enough time to get the footage uploaded. So next day, 2 days later, it kind of depends. So some races on Saturday mornings, then that would put us at Sunday morning for plan C, and for Sunday races, that would put us Monday evening, which is fine. I think that's fine. And then plan D would be basically what I did for Jacksonville, where it's I actually edit the footage. I don't think this is necessary for us to do, even if it comes down to having to do plan C. I think it really makes the most sense to do plan D, where I actually edit, do a post-race edit of the footage. Basically, edit in all the camera switches. It makes the most sense whenever the camera shots are not in one video. So if somebody records and they stop a lot, I actually managed that decently well, I might add, for Savage, Maryland. And I can't remember if it was they did it on purpose or not, but if that happens, it makes it easier to do the edit first and then just, live commentator and graphics on top of that. So yeah, that's plan D. But I don't foresee us really needing to go to plan D. I think plan C is fine. We can do commentating, next day, a couple days later, whatever it takes, and that's good. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. That's the plan. Those are our, if we're gonna go live, we're gonna go live if we can. And even like OCRWC, I know I talked about this some already when OCRWC happened, but we had technical issues that kept OCRWC from being as good of a show as it could have been, because we had the rabbits, we had people on course, we just had issues that kept all of the cameras from coming in to the production machine. And I don't expect us to have that again. It's something that I still have yet to see in action, but the things that I've done to fix those issues, I don't expect to see that be a problem again. I actually have switched from Paperspace as the production platform to production machine platform, the cloud machine, being a virtual machine, to AWS. I've got an AWS machine, and I'm going to try that out, see how it goes. So here's hoping. There's lots of companies that use AWS for vMix live streaming. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do it too. One thing of note about how we do the Plan B and Plan C, the post live, is the camera software, the camera app that we use, has the ability to put an overlay on it. And the overlay, I just put timestamp. So it's time of day, and it goes in the bottom right corner. And when I'm watching, like when I'm camera switching during the live show, the cameras, where I look at the cameras, I can see those timestamps. And so if I have to, for whatever reason, speed one up, I can speed it up and get to the correct time while the other camera is on, like live. But if everything's good, then I don't even have to do that, because I can line them up, do a shortcut that starts them playing all at the same time. And if their timestamps are synced up, then everything's good. The cameras are in sync, and then we just roll with the show. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's how that works. And we just zoom it in a little bit so you don't see the timestamp whenever it's all the live output. So that's pretty cool. Now, Jacksonville, the race, very interesting. We had lots of pros that may or may not have been at Jacksonville. They were not there because they were in I forget how to pronounce it. Alula. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. They were there racing Tough Mudder Infinity. I guess while I'm here, I'll talk about that. Tough Mudder Infinity's live stream was quite bad. It was one camera shot of the finish line, and Matt B. Davis commentating. He showed up every once in a while with some updates, maybe talked to some people here and there, and then that was it. They had a storm the night before. They dealt with issues. I honestly couldn't tell you what those issues were. I have no idea what the back-end problems were and why they ended up with only one camera, why they didn't go out and get footage from on course. I have no idea. So I can't speak to any of that. But as far as a contingency plan that they went for, it was just not good. You could always talk about things like, if you were there, what would you have done? I don't know what the circumstances were like, so I can't say what we would have done. I do know we would have tried our best, as we always do, and we would have got something out to everybody. I don't know what it would have been. I feel confident in saying it would be better than what it was, but there's no way I can say that for sure because that didn't happen. So I can't prove it, so it didn't happen. But what else? So lots of pros were there, and a lot of these pros, would they have come to Jacksonville anyways? The National Series has no money for the individual races and has only $1,500 for the winner for the series. I think. I'm pretty sure it's not even like 5,000. I'm blanking on the top of my head. I think that's what it is, but it's just not a lot. It's just like, I don't know. I can definitely see a lot of those athletes, the high-level athletes, that would not bother with it. So we got people that are, still passionate about the sport, and they're doing it for the sport, not for the money, and still great athletes, but that's why they were there. As you probably saw, what you would consider, like if you think OCRWC, what you consider people that are getting on the podium at OCRWC The only person that was there that probably has an OCRWC podium was Annie Doobie. And she, I think, is basically locked up her, winning the series. Like, if she does the other two races, I can't not see her not taking the series. Which is smart. That's awesome. That's awesome that she did that. I hope that works out, that she finishes out the series. That'd be very cool. Not sure about the men's side, though. I think it's just going to be a good top competition all the way through. Ethan Brown was, I'd say Ethan Brown and Dustin Rudder were poised to win it, and they both missed the spear. Ethan Brown worked his way back up into third, and then lost third on the barbed wire crawl. Quite an intense race. It was a good race by all those guys. A lot of hard effort. People missing the Z wall. It was a good race. Good, crazy race. The mud. It was cold. It was chilly morning. Race started at 7:00. It was like 45 degrees that morning. All the metal was very cold. And these dudes are out there still running out without shirts on, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. So, good race. So let's move on to talking about the year and kind of what we're hoping for this year. What we're doing to make it better than years past, to improve. First off is the live stream itself. We've got, like I said, I've switched to an AWS, Amazon Web Services cloud machine. Really hoping that alleviates some of the problems I've had with Paperspace. And as far as the virtual machine, that's about it there. We did get some updated graphics. We got hired somebody from Fiverr to design some graphics for us, and I took basically what they did and the animations that they put them into and kind of learned from it. And I've been tweaking things and making it even better. So that's good. It's going to make the year just a little bit leveled up. It's still not like pro level graphics, but definitely better than what we had, and just keep slightly improving on those each year. And so we got that graphics. We're hoping to get more sponsors this year. DECA's really working hard with us to try and push that with their sponsors to get some money into the live streams. When we get money to be able to afford, budgetary wise, flying in commentators for the on-site commentary, we've now got a mixer, an audio mixer with some industry standard level headsets. On-site commentary audio has been something that we have not had the best of, and now we've got some pro level headsets with an audio mixer. So these headsets go into the audio mixer with XLR plugs, and the headphones they're 1/4-inch jacks that go into an amp, and all that stuff feeds back into itself so that the commentators can actually hear each other and themselves very clearly and plainly and with no delay. And it should really help even when there is music in the festival area and it's like blaring in our faces. It should help in those situations too. We're really open to see that play out in DECA Knoxville. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we might be looking to see that at the second Knoxville race. Second DECA race in SoCal. But we'll see. Still waiting for those sponsorship deals to finalize. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that. When an athlete steps into the booth for post-race interviews, we can give them a headset too. Got 3 headsets for that, so they're going to sound really good as well. It's going to be awesome. And then, and I just the other day realized that the digital SLR, so the DSLR camera that I have, is kind of an older one. It's a Canon Rebel T7i. It's an older camera, but there's a Canon has a webcam app that I never could get to work in the past, and they've apparently made a lot of improvements to it, and it does work for that now. So I've got that camera that's going to be our on-site commentator camera now too, because in the past we've been using a little like $100 webcam, like Logitech webcam as our webcam, and I got a nicer tripod to go with it, and we got that nicer camera, so I think we're going to have just better picture and better sound from the commentators all together. So that's going to be awesome. Now, another improvement that we have that we're still exploring to see where and how this really improves things for us is Starlink. We've got a Starlink satellite thing and looking to test that out this weekend and see if that is better than having a cell router as I've used in the past. So we'll see. I didn't get to use it in Jacksonville because there was no cell signal there anyways, so it wouldn't have really made a difference. But here this weekend, where I'm going to have cameras up on course, live streaming through their hotspots, but I will be stationed with my Starlink to see how it performs for my base camp. Not really sure how that's going to work for like a DecaFit. Now, a DecaFit, typically, they have some kind of Wi-Fi inside of the building, so we'll probably continue to use that kind of thing, but usually we're sharing it with Spartan, and it's just, you never know. Like, it was pretty good for Deca World Championships, so I don't know if they're going to go back there again. That would be nice, but we don't know for sure. But we'll see. I think I'm going to wrap this up here. I got to stop and get gas, and I think that's the main stuff. We've got good people, we've got good commentators, we got more and more rabbits. Obviously, the more you can help, and the more people can help, the better our. The more people can rabbit, the more the better people get at rabbiting. And we've got actually Corey Smirk and Shan Powell worked on filming some stuff for a rabbit instructional video. And Corey is working on the editing of that. So we're really hoping to have a awesome instructional video that'll help anybody that we say, oh, you signed up in the rabbitings this weekend? Well, here's this video. Watch this. It'll give you some ideas on how to do things, how to operate the cameras. Give them a chance to get improve knowledge on how it all works. More so than the hour before the race starts, So really hoping that will spread some knowledge and help make everybody better as well. But that's it for now. I am going to stop and get some gas and keep going, heading down to Austin. I'm going to stop at Round Rock and stay at Round Rock tonight. They've got a place called Round Rock Donuts that has some very large donuts. Just because they're large doesn't mean they're good, but I am going to go and find out, see if they're any good. So thank you to everybody that listens, and thank you to everybody that watches the live streams and understands that, we're not a giant company with a 200-person team. We're myself and, people that work on the back end stuff like YouTube and whatnot. But when we're on site, it's myself and the rabbits and the commentators, and that's it. And, we do what we can because we're providing something that is missing. High Rocks has their thing where they are providing, they've got live coverage now, and they're hiring somebody. I don't know who it is, but they're hiring somebody to do a great job. So that's awesome. That's great. Over in Europe, you're usually getting Icarus, which is a company that does some live coverage. They've definitely got some ways that they can improve, but I would love to be part of that. I would love to see, you guys handle the cameras, and let us get the commentators for you and do the camera switching. Maybe not even the camera switching, but the graphics at least, and give and really combine things and give an even better show. That would be awesome. But we'll see. Lots of things to come. We're always looking to improve, and we're just going to keep getting better, and all that good stuff. Thank you again, and we love the sport. We love you guys. We all do this just because we love it. So we're just gonna keep on doing it. Keep on doing it until somebody else comes in and does it better, and then there's no need for us. We'll see. All right, take care. You too.